The scenes inside Hard Rock Stadium were unlike anything the Miami Open had ever witnessed. When Eala walked onto center court for her second-round match against Laura Siegemund, the 14,000-seat stadium was filled to capacity, with thousands more outside, waving flags, chanting her name, turned away at the gates. The finals, by comparison, would never be full, but for Eala, every session was a sellout. The ticket system had crashed at 9:47 a.m. the day tickets went on sale. Merchandise bearing her name accounted for 57% of all sales, more than every other player in the field combined. Her jersey alone outsold the entire rest of the WTA field. And now, in the aftermath of a Miami Open run that packed stadiums even as she fell in the fourth round, a new frenzy is unfolding. The phone at Eala's management office has not stopped ringing. Top global brands are fighting to sign her. March 23, 2026, Hard Rock Stadium, Miami Gardens. The final numbers from the Miami Open were tallied, and they told a story that would reshape how the tennis industry views Eala. Ticket sales for Eala's matches had exceeded projections by 48%, the same surge seen in Dubai earlier in the year. The ticket system crashed at 9:47 a.m. on March 17th, overwhelmed by demand from Filipino fans. Every session featuring Eala sold out within hours. Her jersey sales accounted for 57% of all merchandise sold at the tournament, more than every other player in the field combined. The numbers were staggering. Coco Gauff, Iga Świątek, Aryna Sabalenka, all the top-ranked players in the world combined sold less merchandise than Eala alone. She has a huge fan base. She actually would be number one probably, Gauff had said earlier in the tournament when asked about jersey sales. It wasn't speculation, it was fact. But the merchandise numbers only told part of the story. The fan presence at Hard Rock Stadium was unlike anything tournament officials had seen in decades. Filipino flags filled entire sections. Chants of "Let's go, Alex" echoed through the corridors. When Eala won her second-round match against Laura Siegemund after 3 hours and 20 minutes, the stadium erupted in a celebration that lasted long after she walked off the court. Even her opponents noted. Before the brand frenzy began, there was Nike, and the relationship runs deeper than any sponsorship deal. Alice signed with Nike in 2019 when she was just 14 years old and still years away from professional stardom. The relationship began quietly. Apparel, footwear, the standard support package for promising juniors. But as Eala's star rose, so did Nike's investment. At Wimbledon in July 2025, Nike presented her with a bespoke white hair tie featuring a single sampaguita, the national flower of the Philippines. The accompanying handwritten note read, "Every dream begins as a seed. Kung may tinanam, may aanihan, and what you plant, you'll one day reap." The sampaguita, the flower of my country, a reminder of where I come from and everything that brought me here, Eala wrote on Instagram. The gift was a one-off, not for commercial sale, a gesture that transcended marketing to become a moment of genuine cultural connection. Nike Philippines confirmed the hair tie was custom-made exclusively for Eala. It was a recognition of her heritage, her journey, her place as a symbol of Filipino pride. In February 2026, Eala visited the Nike World Headquarters in Oregon, where she was welcomed with her own portraits displayed along the legendary tunnel featuring other Nike global ambassadors across all sports. The images captured key moments from her journey, including one of her in disbelief after her Miami Open semifinal run, both hands covering her face in pure emotion. Then came the NikeSkims collaboration. In early March, Eala took to social media with a post that would generate millions of views. "On Wednesdays, we wear pink, @Skims, @NikeWomen, #NikeSkimsPartner." She captioned a series of photos showing her in eye-catching pink athleisure from the new collaborative collection. The post went viral within hours. Fans flooded the comments with excitement about the new NikeSkims line, which had launched just weeks earlier. The pink outfit, the playful caption, the association. While Nike commands the spotlight, another brand has been quietly building a relationship with Eala that could be equally significant: Babolat. Babolat is best known as the racket used by Rafael Nadal and Carlos Alcaraz, the dominant force in men's tennis for 2 decades. But the French brand has a history of backing barrier breakers, and Eala is now the most visible female player using Babolat since Li Na, the first Asian player to win a Grand Slam. Jean-Christophe Verboog, global sports marketing director for Babolat, told Forbes that Eala's rise reminds him of Li Na's breakthrough. "I don't like really comparing. All of them are unique, but I would say it's a little bit crazy what is happening with Alex because she's, in theory, from a small tennis country," Verboog said. He spoke about the energy Eala brings, the smile that lights up stadiums, the way she carries herself. I mean, she didn't have before, and suddenly, with what happened, it's really started for me in Miami last year, 1 year ago, when she got the wild card. In every single tournament she's playing, it's crazy how many people around are watching her. The Li Na comparison is instructive for understanding Eala's commercial potential. Li won the 2011 French Open. More than 116 million people in China watched that final, NFL Super Bowl numbers. She won the 2014 Australian Open title, which made her a global icon. The endorsement deals exploded. Samsung, Mercedes, Nike. Eala's current sponsorship portfolio already reads like a who's who of global and Philippine brands. On the global side, Nike and Babolat anchor her equipment and apparel deals. But the Philippine-based sponsors reveal where her true market value lies. Globe Telecom has maintained a relationship with her since she was just 8 years old, a testament to the longevity of her appeal and the brand's early investment in her potential. Bank of the Philippine Islands, BPI, signed her as a brand ambassador, adding the credibility of one of the country's oldest financial institutions to her portfolio. In mid-2025, Locally Juice, a fruit juice brand under NutriAsia, announced her as a brand ambassador. The campaign, Fuel Your Ace with Locally, combines Eala's global profile with a message of optimism and national pride, using native Filipino fruits like tamarind, calamansi, and dalandan sourced from local farmers. "We at NutriAsia are proud to embark on this meaningful partnership," NutriAsia President and COO Angie Fleminiano said at the launch. "We sincerely thank Alex for aligning with our vision and for bringing her inspiring story to Locally, a brand that champions Filipino excellence and celebrates the strength and potential of our youth." Most recently, Milo Philippines announced her as its newest ambassador for the My Milo Story campaign, launched in February 2026. The campaign highlights how Eala's journey began in the brand's sports clinics, a full-circle moment that resonates deeply with Filipino families. A rising international tennis star whose journey began in the brand's sports clinics, the commercial frenzy around Alex Eala is not just about tennis, it's about what she represents. Eala was born in Quezon City, Philippines. She moved to Mallorca to train at the Rafael Nadal Academy at age 12. By 13, she was competing in junior Grand Slam tournaments. She left home, a sacrifice that millions of Filipino families understand deeply, as members of the diaspora leave their homeland to work abroad, to build better lives, to chase dreams. When Eala speaks about her journey, she speaks the language of the overseas Filipino worker. She knows what it means to be far from home. She knows what it means to carry the hopes of those who stayed behind. "I always make it a point to be grateful," she said after her Miami Open exit. "Coming from where I come from, I've seen some serious poverty. I've seen serious struggle. Although I haven't lived through that struggle myself, I'm able to appreciate what I have." That authenticity is what brands are fighting for. You can't manufacture it, you can't buy it, you can only recognize it and hope to be associated with it. The world is becoming a smaller and more diverse place, so then people across the world pay attention to even countries that maybe in the past we weren't paying attention, Russell told Forbes. So there's probably potential for her fame to expand beyond the Philippines. You could think about skincare, you can think about hair care, you can think about, any kind of beauty products that ultimately all these athletes opens up. March 23, 2026, the fourth round of the Miami Open. Karolina Muchova delivered a clinical performance that ended Eala's run in exactly 60 minutes, 6-0, 6-2. The Czech fired 20 winners against just 11 unforced errors, while Eala managed only 7 winners in 13 unforced errors. The opening set lasted just 22 minutes. Muchova conceded only 6 points in the bagel set. The loss extended Eala's record against Czech players to 0-12. It also had ranking consequences. Entering the tournament at a career-high number 29 with 1,525 points, Eala was defending 390 points from her historic 2025 semifinal run. With her fourth-round exit, she gained only 120 points, resulting in a net loss of 270 points. Her projected ranking dropped to number 45. For most players, a drop of 16 spots would be devastating. For Eala, it was a moment of perspective. I'm in a position where this tournament is not all or nothing. You know what I mean? Not everything's on the line, she said afterward. But in regard to how I approach expectations and external noise, it's that I know my truth. Her truth was simple. She was just getting started. You could argue that everything I do is to prepare myself for those players. I do a lot, but I do it to prepare for all different types. Eala walked off center court at Hard Rock Stadium after a 60-minute loss to Karolina Muchova, her Miami Open run ending earlier than she had hoped. But the numbers from that tournament told a different story. Ticket sales up 48%. The system crashed under demand. Her jersey outsold every other player in the field combined. 57% of all merchandise sold bore her name. The brands have noticed. Nike, already in, is reportedly finalizing a deal that could be worth $75 million or more. Babolat sees her as the next Li Na, a barrier breaker who can open an entire region to tennis. Luxury fashion houses, beauty conglomerates, tech giants are circling. Her current portfolio already includes Globe, BPI, Locally, and Milo, brands that recognize the power of genuine Filipino pride. The loss to Muchova dropped her ranking to number 45, but it did not diminish her appeal. She has proven she can fill stadiums. She has proven she can generate revenue. She has proven that she is, in the words of Coco Gauff, #1 when it comes to fanbase. The clay season begins now. Madrid